Sustainability can be described as the capacity to endure, to meet the needs of the present without compromising that ability for future generations.
My name is Frank Muller. I come from a long history of farming. My father grew up in Switzerland on a small farm there, immigrated to the United States after World War II. We've spent a lot of time on this farm, growing the farm, developing the farm, and some of the traditions from Switzerland have followed us through the generations. We tend to be very neat and clean with our farming practices, and we have a very long-term outlook on the sustainability of our farm.
As a farmer, I look at it, the land and the water, and what you do is it's your asset.
We take a long-term outlook on what we're doing on our farm, and basically sustainability to me means that whatever we do this year, we're going to leave everything in better shape when we're finished than when we started. And that includes things like the soil, it includes things like our employees, the environment.
We have employees that have been here 30 years, 50 years, one guy just retired. Some of them, Ruben that retired, worked for my dad, he worked for me, he worked for my son.
ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਖੇਤੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੀ ਖੇਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਖੱਤਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਲਾਰ ਸੰਬੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ। ਫਿਰ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਟਮਾਟਿਆਂ ਦੀ, ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਦੀ ਬੀਟ ਦੀ, ਟਮਾਟਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ।
It was a very difficult time for them too, because coming from farming communities in India where they worked in the farms, but that was their own farms, and then they come over here, you have to work for somebody else.
ਫਿਰ ਵੈਸੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਪੀਚਾਂ ਚ ਬਚਦੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਫਾਰਮਰ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ। ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ 30 ਏਕੜ ਲਾਏ ਸੀ।
I think that it's very important to me to be able to carry out working on the fields, and that he's worked very hard for it, and so I want to just live up to his expectations and just be able to farm and live a happy life.
ਦੇਖਣ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਪੀਚ ਲੱਗੇ ਹੋਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕਰਾ ਪਿਆ, ਫਿਰ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਲੱਗਣ ਤੇ ਪੋਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਮ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ।
Majority of the Sikhs are farmers, and it's just what we've grown up doing, and it's just passed down from generation to generation.
Every Sikh's dream is to become a farmer.
ਬਾਬੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਨੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਵੀ ਖੇਤੀ ਕਰੋ, ਦਸਾਂ ਦੀ ਕਮਾਈ ਕਰੋ, ਵੰਡ ਕੇ ਖਾਓ, ਲੰਗਰ ਚਲਾਓ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ।
It's very meaningful, as it is to most of us in the farming business, that there's someone to carry it on. Because when you plant a pear tree, you have to wait a lot of years before you get little pears.
As I'm getting older, I'm trying to take over some of the sustainability, and so I'm putting in the micro irrigation so that way we're not flood irrigating as much anymore.
Today we're standing in a field of processing tomatoes. Tomatoes are irrigated with drip irrigation. You see no water on the surface of the field. There's a drip tape buried underneath each row of plants about 12 inches deep, and all the water and nutrients that the plants need will be supplied by that drip tape.
The revolution of sustainability is really growing. I mean, everyone's changing their perspective and looking at it that, hey, I need to continue my success, and I have to take care of things different and approach things different.
We were one of the first, worked with a company out of New Zealand to develop the isomates, which are going to be tied on the peach trees here in the next couple of weeks. It's a mating disruption through the use of pheromones that confuses the oriental fruit moth. They don't mate, so you don't have worms, basically.
We're the first ones tested here on this ranch. It's trying to get on that cutting edge and keep your costs down, keeping things viable, and if it works, it's economical.
We've always tried to be relatively sustainable. I mean, that's a buzzword sort of the last few years, but it's something that just out of good business practices we do, trying to use every bit of the fruit we possibly can, or the tomatoes that we possibly can, and utilize those in some product. We've done lots of things to reduce water use, whether that's changing our screening technology or utilizing different equipment that requires less water and more mechanical use. Those kind of things inherently reduce our footprint, our negative footprint on the environment.
The co-op stays on the cutting edge in all of its operations, pioneering efficient industrial equipment and smartly managing waste, freight, and warehouse location.
70% of our customer base is either in the Midwest or the East Coast. So that right there creates a challenge for us. And as we grew and as we evolved into a larger supplier in the industry, it was important for us to create a national distribution that would be something that would be easy for the customer to manage, would be easier for us to manage, and try to achieve the lowest cost possible for our customers. And so what we did is we developed, through a combination of not only rail cars, but intermodal and also over the road, of getting our products as close to the customers as possible.
Sustainability to me means building on past successes and going forward, and that takes everyone, and everybody needs to know what that's about.
We entered into a couple of alliances now, 2 or 3 alliances. It needs to be a strategic fit for our company, and that means it needs to benefit us and our customers. Basically, most of our alliances have increased the breadth of our product line.
I want to be like this 500-pound man that sits right in the middle of the room. He's a friendly enough guy, and he's impossible to get around, and that's what I want. I want to be a supplier that our customers, when they think about living without us, it's so hard to get around that they're just going to continue to do business with us. And that's the model that our growers need. They need for us to continue to take their raw product and turn it into goods that our customers want each and every year.
I can honestly say there's a culture here at PCP that's all about the employees and about our customers. And if you start there with your customers, employees, growers, and you remember that every single day and think about it every day, it makes it a good place to come to work.
Here in the community, we have a pretty good story. We've been here, the city's actually grown around us, and so we have generations and generations of people that are used to this cannery here in Oroville.
I think we all have great pride in what we do right now, but in addition to that, we want to make sure that we endure and make sure we can be here for many years to come.
Management style is to create an atmosphere of stability for my employees, for what we do in the plant, and not make erratic moves, and that kind of ties through everything we do.
To me, sustainability means ensuring that we're good stewards of what we have in front of us today, like water, good use of land. We have a lot of years ahead of us. I have 4 small kids, so I'm always thinking at home ways we can help improve and also just keep things going for the future.
The importance of the sustainability, I always think about my kids and my family. Everything that I'm doing right now, I want to be part of the solution, not be part of the problem. For me personally, my legacy that I see here is that I want to make sure that everybody understands that we're trying to not only improve, but I want to see that we are growing and being good stewards of the environment.
When it's all said and done, this is an agricultural company. We process a lot of food, we ship a lot of food, we do a lot of other things to go with that, but fundamentally we're a farming company. And that gives me a great deal of pleasure and joy. What I do is every year is a new year, every season brings a new set of challenges and opportunities, and every year we try to move forward and be a little bit better than we are, and I think we proved that as a team.